So Barcelona would begin the defense of their Copa del Rey title on Tuesday with a trip to Guadalajara. And this game is a game where I expect Hansi Flick to have a lot of rotations in the team. Obviously, Joan Garcia is not going to play, so I expect either Szczesny or Ter Stegen to start. But all over the pitch, I know that there are going to be a lot of changes. The likes of Lewandowski may start this game because he has not played in the last few games that we have played. So he may start this game. Other players, the likes of Rooney Badaji, I expect them to start this game. I expect massive rotations from Hansi Flick in this game. But then, this game, despite the fact that this opponent looks like a cheap opponent or an easy opponent, you cannot underestimate such opponents, especially in a competition like the Copa del Rey. Now, let me tell you why. Because they are going to be playing at home, and they are going to have a massive support, a massive home crowd behind them. We know that Barca can struggle in away games sometimes, and these guys are going to have a massive crowd behind them. This is a big occasion for them. Welcoming Barcelona to town, it's always a motivation for any team. And I even saw these guys, they were mounting temporary stands in the stadium. That's a bit to improve the atmosphere in the stadium. So Barca has to go into that game with the right mindset. Barca has to go into that game locked in, knowing that they have a job to do and they have to go out there and deliver on the pitch, regardless of who plays. Because regardless of who plays, on paper, Barcelona's team should always be stronger than Guadalajara's team. That's the truth. So regardless of who plays, whether it's a second string side from Hansi Flick on Tuesday, Barca should always have a stronger starting lineup than Guadalajara. And that's the truth. But this game, the team has to deliver. And this game is even more important because it is the first of a sequence of 6 games where Barca are going to be playing away from home. And it could be 7, because if Barca qualifies for the Spanish Super Cup final, that will be 7 games consecutively playing away from home. Now, let's talk about Barca's form at home this season. Barca have been impeccable at home this season, especially in the league. Especially in the league, Barca have won 27 out of a possible 27 points at home in the league. Starting from the Montjuic and now moving back to the Spotify Camp Nou, where Barca has now won 5 consecutive games. Barca have won the first 5 games at the new Spotify Camp Nou. So that's a fortress right there. Barca are going to be away from this fortress for the next 6 or 7 games. So that's a huge challenge ahead of Barcelona. And this game in the Copa del Rey is the first of those games where Barca are going to be playing away from home. Right from the Montjuic, Barca's form at home has been impeccable. 27 points out of a possible 27 in La Liga. That's about 9 straight home wins in La Liga. All the home games in La Liga this season, splitting between the Montjuic and the Spotify Camp Nou, Barca have won all. In the Champions League, only PSG have won at Barcelona, and that was at the Montjuic. Since Barca returned to the Camp Nou, Barca have won 5 consecutive games at the Camp Nou, following that 2-0 win against Osasuna at the weekend. So this tells you that Barca are going to be moving away from their fortress for the next 6 or 7 games. That's a challenging task right there. And Barca have to begin this on the right note by beating Guadalajara in this Copa del Rey game on Tuesday. Barca has to set the pace for these next 6 games that are going to be away from home. And these games are not the easiest of games, to be honest, because after this game against Guadalajara, Barca are going to travel to Villarreal. After that is the Catalan derby against Espanyol, after which is Athletic Club in the Spanish Super Cup semi-final, and then a La Liga game against Real Sociedad. And then we travel to Slavia Praha in the Champions League. So that's 6 consecutive games away from home. And like I said, it could be 7, because if Barca beats Athletic Club in the Spanish Super Cup semi-final, Barca will play the final again on a neutral ground. That's still away from home. So that could be 7 consecutive games playing away from our fortress, that is the Camp Nou. So Barca really has to be locked in for this sequence of games, because it's not going to be easy, but the team has an opportunity to show ambition that we can be a team that fights for all the titles that we won last season. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Adios.